how to repair that damaged metabolism. Let's work on that. Hey, what's shaking bacon? My name is Bruno Panucci. I hope you're doing well. For any of you that are interested in the Facebook group, the link is below. If you enjoyed this video and found it informative, like it and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. This video was originally going to be an update on my weight loss challenge with my 80-20 to 4 meal a day ratio of high fat, moderate protein. I was going to have my bod pod exam a few days ago, which was going to measure my lean mass to body fat percentage, but they had to cancel the appointment because they were having trouble with the machine. This is a medical grade machine that tells you all that above information. It tells you what your resting metabolic rate is, and it's one of the best out there, really. It's right up there with a DEXA scan. It's equally as good as a DEXA scan, but there's no x-rays involved, so I'm a big fan of this machine. Because the appointment got canceled, I won't be able to give a 1-month update about how this is going. Now, I wasn't doing a lot of weight training in the last month. I was doing a lot more walking because I wanted to demonstrate what happens when you don't do a lot of weight training, exercising, and you're losing weight. I know they say that people won't lose lean mass when they go into aggressive ketosis, but one, you have to get to aggressive ketosis to get to that point. And two, those studies were done on athletes that were working on maintaining their lean mass. If you're not working out to that level that they were, you may not get those same results. In fact, I know you won't because I've lost weight a lot through the years. And I know I've lost a lot of lean mass with that weight. And I've put on lean mass when I started putting on weight. It's part of the cycle of putting on weight and losing weight. And if you're not fighting to maintain your lean mass as you lose weight, you're going to lose your lean mass. So yes, you will lose lean mass. So if you're not fighting to maintain your lean mass as you lose fat, you're going to lose quite a bit of lean mass. That's just the reality of it. It's a well-documented fact. When you start losing weight, you can lose up to 30 to 40% of your lean mass as you lose weight. That's not really good. If you're losing 2 pounds of lean mass for every 10 pounds you lose, that's not good either. We want to try and minimize that. It's going to happen. Most likely it's going to happen, but you want to minimize that number. So let's talk about ways we can raise our metabolism as we're losing weight. Or if you don't have any weight to lose, this is good for you to just start working on raising your metabolism. Now, normally the traditional advice is raise your protein. Raising your protein will help give you the building blocks to build your metabolism. A healthy metabolism is like a raging fire. I'm talking like a good fire, something that's just really putting out a lot of flames. Now, that's a raging metabolism. You can put a block of wood on that fire and it's not going to slow it down too much at all. And because the fire is so hot, it's just going to use that fuel extremely well. Many people, like myself, are coming from a damaged metabolism. If this is you, if you've been ignoring your health for a long time, and maybe your lean mass isn't up to where it should be, and also you're battling with insulin resistance, this is where we're coming from. Our metabolism is a smoldering fire. We have a smoldering fire. And what happens when you put a log on a smoldering fire? Not too much. And also, it can put out what little flame is there because now the oxygen level has changed when you're putting that log on the fire, right? What happens when you put that big log on a smoldering fire is it takes a long time for that fire to really get that log hot and burning. And when it does, that fire starts to really start going around that log. But eventually that dies down. Then you got to put some more wood on there and you just keep repeating the cycle. Your goal is to try and get your metabolism to go from a smoldering fire to a raging hot metabolism. If you're putting too much protein in your body and you have a smoldering metabolism, like a smoldering fire, your metabolism is damaged and it's slow. We got to repair that. We got to work on that. And how do you fix that problem? You put smaller sticks of wood on that smoldering fire. If you were to cut that log into 4 or 6 pieces and put one every few minutes on that fire, you're really going to start getting that going. You do that long enough and that fire is going to help maintain a life of its own, right? Then once that fire is continually hot and it's doing really well, then you can start putting big cuts of wood on there. For those of you that have a high metabolism already and things are going well, you're working with that blazing fire. For the rest of us, we're working with a smoldering fire. So what we're doing is we're having multiple small meals throughout the day. That's a great way to build your metabolism. You're putting moderate amounts of protein into your body all throughout the day. Bodybuilders, strongmen, and anyone who goes to a fitness regime at a gym, they put you on multiple small meals all through the day. Those people who have those really strong metabolisms, most of them got there by having multiple small meals throughout the day. Lots of snacks, lots of meals. That's what we want to do. That's a great way to help slowly start building your metabolism back up. So frequency of meals is a great way to go. When you're already that blazing fire, you don't have to feed it all day. And some people can get down to 1 or 2 meals a day. That's great, right? But you have to work towards that. Those people have conditioned their bodies to be able to do that. You have 1 meal a day and you try building your metabolism, it's a lot more difficult to do that. You can maintain your metabolism at that point. You can maintain your physique at that point, but it's a lot harder to build your physique at that point. It's a lot harder to build your metabolism at that point. So let's work towards multiple small meals a day. I've been doing lots of challenges throughout the year I've had this YouTube channel, and most of them have been around fueling myself all throughout the day. But I was putting too much protein into my body, and that was the equivalent of a big block of wood on a smoldering fire. My damaged metabolism was just under too much of a burden trying to deal with that. So I've lowered my protein intake, and it seems to be going pretty well. I'm getting some significant weight loss. So there's two ways I'm gauging my metabolism here: my body fat percentage, as well as being able to maintain my lean mass. And the ratio between the two is what's important. I want to have a good amount of lean mass to a low percentage of body fats. Right now, I'm dealing with a high percentage of body fat. So if I can maintain that lean mass and I only lose 5 pounds of fat and I haven't lost a pound of lean mass, that's a gain. If I've lost 20 pounds of fat and I've lost 5 pounds of lean mass in the process, I don't consider that a gain. That's just an equally bad situation going down a hill. I don't want that. I want to build my metabolism or maintain my metabolism as I lose fat. If I can do that and just take the fat off straight, then I know I'm making progress, good progress. It's a good quality weight loss. So managing the frequency of your protein and managing the amount of your protein is a great way to go. I went down to 0.7 grams per lean body weight. Before, I was having 1 gram of protein per pound that I weighed. So I was over 300 pounds. I was having 300 grams of protein. That's fine if you have a raging hot metabolism, but it wasn't good where I was. So I lowered it. I lowered it to my ideal lean mass weight, which was 200 pounds. And I started making progress for the first time with weight loss after about an 8-month plateau. Another thing you can do is, now drinking water is a great way to go. I believe when you're doing a low carb or zero carb way of eating, your metabolism is different and you're not maintaining the water that you used to when you're having carbohydrates in your body. So I think we need maybe a little less water, and that's why people have been getting a lot of leg cramps throughout the night. Maybe less water is a good way to go. Play it by ear. If you're getting leg cramps, that might be an indication you're overhydrating. A good way to know that you're getting enough water is that your urine is pale but not clear. We want it to be like lemonade, not clear like water. We want it to be like lemonade, not dark like apple juice. It's always going to be dark in the morning because you haven't gone to the washroom in a while, but keep that in mind. You're going to rehydrate yourself through the day and stay rehydrated. Lots of little bits of water throughout the day. Don't guzzle it all at one time. Otherwise, you're risking flushing the electrolytes, and you don't want that. Now, the important thing you need to do is weight-bearing exercises. You have to rebuild your metabolism, and you need to do that by putting on lean mass. The only way your body's going to put on lean mass is if you give it enough fuel and you give it a reason to absorb that fuel. So I've actually put on lean mass just from increasing my fuel, but I was a really active guy at the time. So that was just my daily routine. I put on more muscle just by increasing my fuel source for the day, but I'm not as active as I used to be. So what happens is I have to work on maintaining and building my muscle mass. When you put on muscle, your bone gets more dense. When you start losing muscle, your bone gets less dense. So we want to make sure we're building our muscle. One of the best ways to do exercises to build muscle all over are compound movements. Compound movement or an exercise, it's a movement where there's more than just one joint moving at a time. So when you do a bicep curl, that's just one joint moving, your elbow. When you do a knee extension, that's just one joint moving, your knee. But when you do something like a squat, your knees are moving, your ankles are moving, your hips are moving, your back is moving, everything gets involved. If you're even doing it without weight, most of your joints are active. If you're doing it properly, you're building your core. So deadlifts, squats, bench press like a power lifter, not like a bodybuilder. Save your shoulders. Planking, doing a push-up. There's lots of different ways to build your metabolism. For those of you who don't have access to weights, do HIIT workouts. You don't need any exercise equipment for that. You do a bunch of jumping jacks, you do a bunch of push-ups, you do a bunch of squats, you do a bunch of jump squats, you do lunges, you do a bunch of different exercises in a really short window of time, maybe just 10 minutes long, but you make it a cardio workout. You're building lean mass during your cardio workout. Doing lots of long walks, that's not building your lean mass. That's not the exercise you want. Long, steady state cardio like walking or jogging or anything like that is going to start burning into your lean mass. It's actually compromising your results. You don't want to do long workouts. You want to do short workouts, shorter, more intense workouts. So if you're trying to build your metabolism, stay away from long workouts. Usually anything longer than a half hour, you're going into your lean mass as fuel. That's just a ballpark. Everyone's a little different. You have to find what your sweet spot is. Things like coffee and spicy foods, those are things you can do that give you a temporary boost in your metabolism. It doesn't really help long-term. To me, it's not worth the side effects you get with the caffeine addiction, but if you already have that caffeine addiction, have fun with that. Go crazy with it. Most importantly, get a good night's sleep. When you get a good night's sleep, your hormones have a chance to balance out. It's more important to wake up at the same time every day than it is to go to bed at the same time every day. Ideally, you want to do both, but the one that's more important is waking up at the same time every day, because your body will adjust to that, and it will adjust the sleep cycles according to that. If it knows you're waking up at 7 o'clock every day, even if you got less sleep in the night because you went to bed earlier, you're still going to wake up at the same time that morning. Anyone who's used to waking up at the same time every day and getting right out of bed knows this. They often wake up right before their alarm. Their circadian rhythm has adjusted to waking up at that time. So these are just a few tips to help maintain and build your metabolism so that when you're losing weight, you're maintaining your metabolism. So keep in mind, if you're building your metabolism as you're losing weight, the scale's not going to move. You have to learn to put those numbers in their place. Don't get caught up at the numbers on a scale, especially if you're doing any type of exercising that's increasing your lean mass. You're just going to frustrate yourself. That's just one bit of information. There's a lot of pieces of information you have to pay attention to. Would you be frustrated if the scale stayed the same, but you went down 2 dress sizes or 2 pant sizes? If you are, you got a bit more going on there, and you need to unpack and unload that stuff, because that's not a healthy mindset. You should be thrilled at those results, because that means you kept lean mass and burned just fat. If you're trying to just lose weight, you're looking at it wrong. You're trying to maintain and build your metabolism and heal your body. You want to maintain your lean mass and burn fat. If you're trying to just lose weight, you're looking at it wrong. You're trying to maintain and build your metabolism and heal your body. You want to maintain your lean mass and burn fat. For any of you that are interested in the Facebook group, the link is below. If you enjoyed this video and found it informative, like it and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. And leave a comment if you're interested in doing so. Thanks a lot and take care.